not so young. Well, Wally has a question for you, Bo. He says, tell me about the TV run on Monday Night Football when you were running so fast, you ran all the way into the tunnel at the Kingdom.
The Kingdom was very good to me. The Kingdom was very good. I was sad to see them tear that down. It was a Monday night game, and that whole week leading up to that Monday night game was special from the standpoint. The first thing, the Wednesday prior to that Monday night game, I woke up and told my wife that she was pregnant with our second child, and she was.
Wow.
On that Monday night game was my 27th or 28th birthday.
Wow.
And during the game, I had my way with the Seahawks. so just that one run was just, wow. That was the candle on the cake with the icing and all of that, meaning that once I got past the linebackers, because the play was designed to have the receivers to all run routes to the other side of the field. So if I got past the linebacker, I knew that they weren't going to catch me. And not thinking about where I was running to, just making sure that I outran the pursuit by easily, I think was a defensive back. When I looked up, I was halfway through the end zone. And luckily they had that back gate open where I could go out. So I ran back and hit the back of the wall. That's how I slowed down and came back out. So I didn't do it on purpose. It's just, if you stop fast from running long distances like that, you have the tendency to pull a muscle. And so I just slowed it down. I use the Jake brakes. I use the Jake brakes to slow it down.
Now let's shift to baseball because, you know, as we've been mentioning, Bo was a multi-sport athlete, dual sport athlete at the highest level professionally. Two moments that I can't get out of my head. I want to say you're in left field. You're sprinting toward the sideline for a pop fly. Excuse me, not the sideline. You're sprinting toward the line for a pop fly. I'm in football mode, I'm sorry. And for some reason, here you go. Left field line, you're going for the ball, and you reach out with your bare hand and catch the baseball. I've never seen that at that time. Can you take a catch the baseball in your hand bare-handed?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was a pop fly down the left field line. You're absolutely right. And whenever an outfielder is running toward the line to catch a ball, in his mind, he always got to be aware of where that ball is, of how much space he got between the foul line and the wall. So my mind was concentrating. I'm looking at the ball and the wall. Ball, wall, wall, wall. And I realized that I overrun the angle in which the ball was falling. So I got past where the ball I was going to catch it, but I just threw my hand up and it burned the palm of my hand and threw it in, but I just overran that ball, that's all. And if I had missed it, it just would have been an error.
What did your teammates say to you when you came back to the dugout?
Actually, whenever we make a play like that, when we're not expected, when you go back to the dugout, the guys always say something like, oops. They say oops because you didn't supposed to make that play, but you did by accident. But the one thing about baseball is that everybody loves to have fun. It's not as intense as football. Baseball, everybody's laid back, having a nice time. And we like to rag on each other. But whenever you make a play like that, and it's just unfortunate that I overran that ball, and people, just like you are still talking about it.
Now there's another moment here. And don't try this, okay, with your baseball. Now, oh, you're a power hitter, great stealing bases, but from time to time you would strike out.
Oh yes, a lot of times.
Kids, once upon a time, he's in the middle, strikes out, and he takes the bat and snaps it over his knee.
From a baseball player standpoint, there's pitchers out there that, in our mind, we own them because we know what they're going to throw. We know their pitching rotation. We know how they're going to start you off and how they're planning on finishing. So you kind of know what's coming. And sometimes he'll slip one by you and strike you out. And I'm so mad that I allowed this guy to get me out when I know that I can get him. Things like that happen.
Did you realize what you had done?
No, actually, if I were to try that now, I'd probably be on crutches for a month. That's better than throwing your bat and having a bad attitude about what happened to you. I struck out, broke my bat, it's out of my system. I'll get ready to go out to the outfield, make a play, and do it again.
All right, I got more questions. Gary Linares. Hey, Gary. Gary's from the Bronx. Bo, he wants to know, what, in your opinion, was the greatest moment in your career?
The greatest moment. Wow. I would have to say, I won a lot of act. I was for me. Wow. Me in sports was, I lost my 1992. About 9-10 months prior to her death, after I injured my hip, she asked me if I was gonna to finish up my degree. I had 6 classes, which I did in 1995. She also asked me if I was gonna go back and play baseball. And I told her, yes, I would. And the first hit I get would be hit when I first came back from hip surgery. Ironically, was against the New York Yankees. I hit a home run for my mom.
One more question here. And this is a very interesting question. Niles Bracey. Where's Niles? Hey, Niles. How you doing? Michigan fan. I like that. He's from the Bronx as well. What was it like for you playing high school sports?
High school sports, I was about the 3rd or 4th best. We had our running back, our backfield, we ran out of a wishbone. 3 backs in the backfield, a fullback and 2 halfbacks. Champion 4x1 relay team. So we had and I ran a 4.1 40. My other 2 backs was running like a 4.2, 4.3 40. So whenever we played somebody, whenever we went to somebody else's field to play, in the middle of the football field used to be bone dry. And the sidelines, they would have an inch of water sitting on the sidelines because they knew once we got outside, nobody could catch us but the state troopers. So every, in order to keep us from running up the scoreboard on it. But high school football, baseball, high school was great because it set the precedent for me to go on to go to college and do big.
Well, you know, our time is up right now. Bo, first of all,